bow our head and let us put ourselves in the presence of our Holy God. And of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, our loving God, as we begin this private conference, we ask for your guidance and wisdom. Help us to work together in harmony and purpose. Grant us clarity of thought and unity of mind, so that our decisions may reflect your will and contribute to the greater good of all involved. Bless our discussions and efforts with your grace. This we ask in the mighty name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
Sige kuan, no? Because Maharlika prayer opening of self-quotation for prayer number 02511-39 Procurement one safety stock computer for use in the records unit administrative section. EPC is 143,000. PO number 0251244. Procurement of unleaded gasoline and 2 fuel use for generator set, plate compactor, concrete cutter, single bagger, and two-stroke press cutter to maintain vegetation control sign of maintenance section. The total budget is 999,600 pesos million. Next is PO number 02512-405. Procurement nylon number 300 for use of the cutter in maintenance section. The total budget is 190,080 pesos million. Next is PO number 025-1-12-406, Procurement of ready-mix concrete 3,000 piece, 3,500 PSI and 28 calendars for use, repair, rehabilitation, and repayment. Blocking and pumping and operation along Maharlika Highway, Agusan del Sur. Approved budget is 35,158.47 pesos. This will be followed by the private conference. Contract ID number 26-in-6-0001, Rehabilitation Major Repair of Canal Bridges, Tagabaka Bridge, along Butuan City-Talacogon-Loreto-Veruela-Sta, Josefa, Agusan del Sur. Approved budget contract is 6,207,077 pesos and 30 centavos. Contract duration is 102 calendar days. Next is contract ID number 26-in-6-0002, Rehabilitation Major Repair of Bridges, Magalibobo Bridge, along Pulanglupa-Sta, Josefa, Agusan del Sur. The budget contract is 6,237,077 pesos and 30 centavos. Contract duration is 102 calendar days. Another is contract ID number 26-in-00003, Rehabilitation Major Repair of Permanent Bridges, Bagang Bridge, along Francisco-Bahi-Barobo Road, Agusan del Sur. The budget contract is 7,850,846 pesos and 38 centavos. Contract duration is 106 calendar days. Next is contract ID number 26-in-6-0004, construction of bypass and Diversion roads from Francisco Energy Ubasa Santa Ana, San Isidro, bypass road, Maharlika and Territory, Isidro section, Agusan del Sur. Provided contract is 66,287,387 pesos and 24 centavos. Contract duration is 228 calendar days. Another is contract ID number 26-in-6-0005, construction and improvement of access roads leading to the third tourism destinations of Energy Pasta-Buenasuerte-Caimpogan Road leading to the Butuan Peat Swamp, Paris and Agusan Swamp Paris, and Agusan Marsh Wildlife Sanctuary, Francisco-Bahi-Barobo, Agusan del Sur. Pro budget contract is 5,095,450 pesos and 42 centavos. The duration is 77 calendar days. The last is contract idea number 26 in 0006. Construction and improvement of access roads leading to trades, industries and economic zones of Agusan, Maharlika, Kalasian, Agusan Road, connecting oil palm rice and corn farms, National Road Junction in support of the oil palm rice and corn farm industries. Rosario, Agusan del Sur. Budget contract is 4,848,180 pesos and 50 centavos. Contract duration is 51 calendar days. That's all for the public conference. We will proceed with check maintenance for the back members.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Before we proceed to our credit conference and opening of self-petition, may I call first the attendees of these activities. For the back members, we have our back chairperson, Engineer Brgy Bisaya, Engineer Manuel C. Dario, back regular member, Engineer Edwin T. Nacorda, Ma'am Evelinda L. Anto, Engineer Elmelin C. Pulanglupa-Sta, Engineer Rodel E. Ridao. For back secretariat, yours truly, Engineer Alik Madeline C. Abogado, Ma'am Edna Corato, Ma'am Gloria L. Duga, Ma'am Liza L. Abdo. For our back DPWH member, Engineer Marilyn D.C. Unda, Engineer Rita B. Alperes, and Engineer Unity A. Lucenio. For the presenter, we have our Engineer Ellen D. Lapidis, Engineer Jemina Mahima L. Ito, and Engineer Marnie Doon is Gated. And the contractor, Francisca A. Dago from Charis Builders and Supply. For the opening of attendance for the sale quotation, the supplier is Tripology General Merchandise and by Jimari Tumina representative.
Thank you for the attendance. Since is in quorum, we must proceed to the opening of the certification first. Then I'll walk through. Then proceed for the presentation of private conference by Mayor Lapidis. Him. Okay. Start the presentation.
Good morning, everyone. So for our first project under previous conference, we have the rehabilitation major repair of permanent bridges, Tagabaka Bridge, B01800MN along Butuan City-Talacogon-Loreto-Veruela-Sta Josefa Road, located at Loreto, Agusan del Sur, with category Rehab Major Repair, specifics, removal and replacement of tank protection and approach slabs, installation of expansion joints. Bridge stationing, kilometer 1372 plus 775 to kilometer 1372 plus 790.80. Bridge length of 15.8 meters. Bridge type, RCDG or reinforced concrete deck girder. Number of span 1. Appropriation 6,415,385. ABC of 6,287,077.33. This is based on the HGAP 2. Then project duration of this project is 107 calendar days. Source of fund under regular infra FY 2026. For the bridge profile, Tagabaka Bridge was constructed year 2015. So the existing RCDG bridge has served the public for 10 years. Then for the location map, this is the Tagabaka Bridge. This direction is going to Poblacion, while this way is going to La Paz, and this way is going to Binucayan, Loreto. For the geotag photos or actual photos on site, this is the beginning of the project and the end of the project. For the condition on site, as per latest BMS assessment, it has been observed that there's a settlement at abutment A, 0.4 meter. Then for the settlement at abutment B, 0.15 meters. For the general plan of Tagabaka Bridge, part of this project is the removal and replacement of approach slabs A and B, and also with embankment underneath for the settlement issue. Then we also have the installation of expansion joint finger type at abutment A and B, and also removal and replacement of PCCP 2 blocks per approach, also with embankment for settlement, 6.7 by 4.5 each approach. Then we also have the removal and replacement of damaged bank protection, 0.3 meter thick, with lean concrete, 0.10 meter thick, 9 meters each side. So per abutment, 18 meters. For the general elevation, we have here the installation of expansion joint finger type at A and B. We also have the removal and replacement of approach slabs A and B, and also PCCP, 2 blocks each approach. It also has embankment for settlement issue, to address the settlement issue. And we also have the removal and replacement of damaged bank protection, 0.3 meter thick with lean concrete, 0.10 meter thick, 9 meters each side, or 18 meters per abutment. So for the bank protection detail, we have here the RC, reinforced concrete, 0.3 meter thick, with lean concrete, 0.10 meter thick with deep holes, and RC footing of 1.8 by 0.5, altitude of 4.5, and for the reinforcing steel bars, 16 mm, diameter for the horizontal bars spaced at 0.4, and for vertical bars, 12 mm diameter spaced at 0.4, and for the RC footing, 10 pieces, 16 mm diameter horizontal bars, and for the stirrups, 12 mm diameter vertical bars spaced at 0.4. Note 50 mm concrete cover. So the dimension of the bank protection is just based on the existing structure on site. Part of this project is also the installation of transverse expansion joint finger type with quantity of 14.8 linear meters to be installed in between approach slab and deck slab. So for the program of work, we have here the facilities for the engineers, provision of field office for the engineer, rental basis, bunkhouse 4 months. For other general requirements, bridge survey and staking 1 lump sum, project billboard 4 each, occupational safety and health 1 lump sum, traffic management based on DEO 13 series of 2018 under layout 3 1 lump sum, move and demove 1 lump sum. For the earthwork, we have clearing and grubbing 0.04 hectares, removal of actual structures obstruction 0.3 meter thick PCCP reinforced or the existing approach slabs 80 square meters. For the removal of structures and obstructions concrete, this is for the damaged bank protection and existing PCCP, 2 blocks each approach, 83.04 cubic meters. And for the embankment from Barrow common soil, this is for the settlement, 195.04 cubic meters. For the sub-base and base cores, aggregate sub-base cores under PCCP, 16 cubic meters. For the surface courses, PCCP 0.28 meter thick. This is the 2 blocks per approach, 60.3 square meters. For the
approach labs, we have 80 square meters. For the bridge construction, we have the reinforcing steel, grade 40, this is just for the RC footing, 986.808 kilograms. And for the structural concrete, 20.68 MPa Class A. For RC footing also, 32.4 cubic meters. For the lean concrete, for the bank protection, we have 27 cubic meters. For the expansion joint, 50 mm gap steel finger type, both abutments, 14.8 linear meters. For the drainage and slope protection structures, grouted riprap Class A as RN protection works, 5.76 cubic meters. And for the concrete slope protection, this is for the RC bank protection, 79.2 cubic meters. Sharing to you the new and updated guidelines for the materials, the special issuance of the construction materials price data CMPD through memorandum dated October 30, 2025, with highlights. The partial release of the special issuance of the CMPD is hereby authorized for immediate use in the preparation of review of cost estimates for construction materials not covered in this special issuance. The last approved CMPD second quarter CY 2025 shall remain in effect. So in this special issuance, the materials were categorized. First, if it is highlighted in green, meaning outsourced, reflected price is based on the pick-up cost. For example, the asphalt. This is just for the Region 13. The asphalt will be taken from Misamis Oriental. Then for the RSB and SSB will be from Davao City. For the materials highlighted in orange, RO price, meaning reflected price is based on the regional office recommended price, for which that office assumes liability. And for materials highlighted in blue, meaning delivered, reflected price is deemed to represent the delivered cost at the project site, hence no further hauling cost shall be programmed. So for those materials that are part of this special issuance but not categorized or highlighted, have updated price exclusive of VAT and are ready for utilization. So for this project, the RSB is outsourced to pick a price, meaning with hauling distance from Davao City to the project site. And for the boulders, RO price, RO recommended price with hauling cost from identified quarry source to the project site. For the sand and gravel, it was tagged as delivered, so no further hauling cost shall be programmed. Meaning identification of quarry sites for the sand and gravel must be coordinated with the assigned materials engineer and in accordance with the updated approved DPWH ADS2 DEO materials quarry map. And also, part of this special issuance is the note that all prices of construction materials listed are exclusive of value-added tax. So for the new guidelines about the VAT subject, guidance on tax requirement affecting the application of 12% VAT on civil works and consultancy services through memorandum dated July 15, 2025, highlighting that the 12% VAT remains in effect and applies to both the sale of goods and services, including those rendered to government agencies. It also states that the total VAT rate on billing is 12%, the 5% VAT withheld by DPWH, and 7% VAT to be remitted by the contractor. For clarification, the 12% VAT is the total tax due on every sale transaction, while the 5% creditable withholding tax rate is not a separate tax rate, but simply the portion withheld by the DPWH and directly remitted to the DIR as part of the 12% VAT. So meaning 12% remitted by the DPWH, then that 7% to be remitted by the contractor to the DIR. Also, for the clarification and the utilization of special issuance of the construction materials price data, or CMPD, through memorandum dated November 24, 2025, 1. The prices reflected in the special issuance are exclusive of VAT. According with the Finance Service Memorandum dated July 15, which provides for the proper application of that 12% VAT in the DUPA, the one that I explained a while ago. Then number 2, materials not covered in the special issuance shall be referred to the last approved CMPD second quarter CY 2025, provided that the VAT is excluded prior to utilization. So for those materials that are not part of the special issuance, we adopted the prices from the second quarter CY 2025, and we also deducted the 12% VAT to get the original price. Number 3, specific materials in the CMPD are highlighted in green to indicate the outsource prices with the corresponding general source locations identified in the footer of each region-wide CMPD. Meaning for Region 13, again, the asphalt will be from Misamis Oriental, and the RSB and SSP will be from Davao City. For the updated guidelines on the labor, we used the latest labor rates as of June 2025 through memorandum dated July 7, 2025. And also for the updated guidelines on the equipment, we use the updated prescribed equipment rental rates through memorandum dated October 13, 2025. So for the quarry sources of Tagabaka Bridge, the embankment will be 10 kilometers within 10 kilometers radius. And for the boulders, it will be from Salvacion-Bahayan River Quarry with hauling distance of 55 kilometers away from the project site. The cement will be from DPWH ADS to DEO with hauling distance of 97 kilometers away from the project site. And for the RSB, meaning outsourced, it will be from Davao City, 192 kilometers away from the project site. For the sand and gravel, it was tagged as delivered, so no further hauling costs shall be programmed. Identification of quarry sites for sand and gravel must be coordinated with the assigned materials engineer and in accordance with the updated approved DPWH ADS2 DEO materials format. For the equipment requirement of Tagabaka Bridge, bulldozer 1, dump truck 2, payloader, backhoe, jackhammer, boom truck, concrete vibrator, concrete spreader, cargo service truck, vibratory roller, water truck, 1 bagger mixer, welding machine, grout mixer, plate compactor, kneading machine, applicator machine, all 1 unit. That's all, sir, for the Tagabaka Bridge.
Any question for the presentation? Additional comments? The plan proceed to next proceed to NC 0002.
For the next bridge project, we have Rehabilitation, Major Repair of Permanent Bridges, Magalibobo Bridge, D01119 along NRJ Pulanglupa-Sta Josefa Road. It is located at Agusan del Sur under the category Rehab Major Repair with specific removal and replacement of bank protection at both abutments and installation of expansion joints. Bridge stationing, kilometer 1373 plus 527.90 to kilometer 1373 plus 540.43. Bridge length 12.53 meters. So Magalibobo Bridge is a steel bridge which has steel girders with concrete deck slabs. Number of span is 1. Appropriation is 6,415,385 pesos with an ABC of 6,287,077 pesos and 30 cents. Project duration is 102 calendar days. Source of fund is regular infra FY 2026. So for the bridge profile, Magalibobo Bridge has been serving for 24 years already. It was constructed year 2001. So showing you the row certificate signed by DG Ben Alden Arcerna. So for the location map, the Magalibobo Bridge is located here. So northeast of the bridge is the way to Pulanglupa-Sta, and the opposite direction is to Patrocinio Santa Josefa. So here are the geotag photo or actual photos of the said bridge. So we have here the beginning of the project and end of the project of the bridge. So here are the conditions on site. So as per latest PMS assessment. So we have 4 identified conditions in abutment A. We have on the first picture is integration or material loss. The second picture is the damaged gabions. Next is the deteriorated sealant at expansion joint and water leakage. Same with the abutment B, disintegration material loss, deteriorated sealant at expansion joint and water leakage. So here is the general plan. So we have here the existing bridge. One of the main scope of this project is to remove the damaged bank protection, which is the gabions, and be replaced with reinforced concrete bank protection 0.3 meter thick, with lean concrete 0.1 meter thick, RC footing 0.4 by 1.5 meters, and RC pile cap 0.4 by 0.7, and steel sheet pile with a length of 3 meters. And also the installation of expansion joint, steel finger type at both ends of the bridge. And also the grouted riprap slope protection and protection works at abutment A. So for the general elevation, we have here the installation of expansion joint at both ends of the bridge, with the total length of the bridge is 12.53. We have here the existing abutment, and also the removal and replacement of damaged bank protection. Total length is 34. We have the altitude of the bank protection 3 meters. Maximum experienced flood level is 35.30 meters. DFL is 34.59 meters. And ordinary water level 33.36 meters. So at abutment A, we have the sloping of 0.8 horizontal and 1 vertical. And at abutment B is 1:1, sloping of 1 horizontal and 1 vertical. Since we have to consider the channel width, the flow of water, and also the existing terrain of the bridge. So for the closer look sa abutment ay sa bank protection. So at the upstream side, we have 12 meters steel sheet pile cap with steel sheet pile with the length of 3 meters. And under the bridge, which is 10 meters, and also the downstream side, which is 12 meters, so 10 plus 12 is 22 meters. RC reinforced footing with the dimensions of 1.5 by 0.4. Same goes with the abutment B. So for the details and schedule of bank protection for abutment A, we have the top berm elevation of 37.05 meters and the top footing elevation of 34.05 meters with the altitude of 3 meters. So the berm has a width of 0.5 meters and bank protection with thickness of 0.3 meters, lean concrete 0.1 meters, and we also have staggered big holes. And the reinforced concrete with dimensions of 0.4 by 1.5 will cover the distance of 22 meters. For the schedule of the bars, we have 12 mm diameter vertical bars spaced at 0.4 meters, 16 mm diameter horizontal bars spaced at 0.4 meters. For the footing, RC footing, we have 16 mm diameter horizontal bars, and for the stirrups, we have 12 mm diameter vertical bars spaced at 0.4 meters with 50 mm concrete cover. So this only covers the under the bridge and the downstream side. So it covers a total distance of 22 meters. And for the reinforced concrete bank protection with pile cap and steel sheet piles, it covers 12 meters. So ang pile cap is 0.4 by 0.7 in dimension, and the steel sheet piles is 3 meters in height. The total distance covered is 12 meters. Same with abutment B. Ang nag-differ lang sila sa sloping. So 0.8:1 and 1:1. So for the transverse expansion joint, finger type, it will be installed in between of the approach slab and the deck slab. For the program of work, we have the facilities for the engineer, provision of field office for the engineer, rental basis, bank house, 4 months. For the other general requirements, bridge survey and staking, 1 lump sum, project billboard signboard, 4 each, occupational safety and health program, 1 lump sum, traffic management, it is based on DEO 13 series of 2018 layout 3, 1 lump sum. For the mobilization, demobilization, we have 1 lump sum. And for the earthwork, we have clearing and grubbing, 0.08 hectares. Removal of structures and obstruction, this is for the existing damaged gabions and both abutment, 1 lump sum. For the removal of structures and obstruction, concrete, this is for the existing riprap at abutment B, 14.92 cubic meter. For the surplus common excavation, we have 208.07 cubic meter. Embankment from roadway, structure, excavation, common soil, 549.04 cubic meter. For the bridge construction, we have structural steel sheet piles furnished, 180 meters. Structural steel sheet piles driven, 162 meters. Reinforced steel, grade 40. This is for the RC footing and pile cap, 1,410.85 kilograms. For the structural concrete, 20.68 megapascal plus 828 base. This is also for the RC footing and pile cap. We have 33.12 cubic meter. Main concrete for RC bank protection, 31.96 cubic meter. For the paint, this is for the concrete superstructure. We have 110.81 square meters. For the expansion joint, 50 mm gap steel figure type, which will be installed in between approach slab and deck slab, 50 mm gap, 14.48 linear meter. For the drainage and slope protection works, grouted riprap class A, this is for the end protection works, 17.66 cubic meters. For the concrete slope protection, this is for the RC block protection, 95.90 cubic meters. For the miscellaneous structures, refractorized thermoplastic pavement markings, so this will be from bridge plus approach slabs plus 60 meters, so 16.51 square meter, and for the yellow, bridge plus approach slab plus 10 meters, so 4.88 square meters. For the quarry sources, boulders will be taken from Santa Maria Simula River, which is 17.50 away from the project site. For the cement, this is from DPWH Agusan second DEO to the project site, 63.50 kilometers. Steel sheet piles and reinforcing steel bars will be from Davao City, which has an hourly distance of 146 kilometers. Showing you the location map and the quarry sources. So for the minimum equipment and equipment requirement, we have dump truck, 2 units, payloader, backhoe with breaker, cargo service truck, water truck or pump, laboratory roller, transit, all 1, transit mixer, common vibrator, 2 units, jackhammer, vibro hammer, welding machine, rod mixer, kneading machine, applicator machine, 1 bagger mixer, bulldozer, truck mounted crane, all 1. So that's all.
Thank you for the presentation. Any comments from the audience, from the members of the back? None? Okay, proceed to 2026-0003.
again. For the next project under privilege conference, we have the rehabilitation major repair of permanent bridges, Caimpogan Bridge, B00787MN along NRJ San Francisco-Bahi-Barobo Road, located at San Francisco, Agusan del Sur, under the category of Rehab Major Repair, with specifics, removal and replacement of deck slab, approach slabs, and bank protection, installation of expansion joints, application of carbon fiber on girder 1. Bridge stationing, kilometer 1313 plus 455 to kilometer 1313 plus 471, bridge length of 16 meters, bridge type RCDG or reinforced concrete deck girder, number of span 1, appropriation and based on HGAB 2, 8,019,231 with an ABC of 7,858,846.38. Project duration 111 calendar days. Source of fund under regular infra FY 2026. For the bridge profile of Caimpogan Bridge, it was constructed year 1981, and for the history, it was repaired and rehabilitated year 2014 under maintenance section funds. And we also have the widening at both sides, which is still ongoing under FY 2025. So for the existing inner lane RCDG, years in service 44 years. For the location map, this is the Caimpogan Bridge. This way is going to Barobo, and this way is going to SF Rotonda. By the way, this is the SF Rotonda. For the jotted photo or actual photos on site, this is the beginning of the project and the end of the project. For the condition on site, as per latest BMS assessment, it was observed that there's a scaling at the approach slabs, water leakage at expansion joint, deteriorated sealant, damaged bank protection under inner lanes, then scaling at the deck slab, and bar exposure at G1 or girder 1. For the general plan, we have here the RC bank protection under inner lanes or 2 lanes with lean concrete 0.10 meter thick, RC footing of 0.4 by 1.5, distance covered of 8.5 per abutment. So this is just the gap in between our widening of both sides. We also have the removal and replacement of approach slabs A and B, then removal and replacement of the whole span of our deck slab. Then we also have the installation of expansion joint finger type at A and B. For the general elevation, note that the post, railings, and sidewalks of the existing 2 lanes or the inner lanes were already removed as part of the FY 2025 widening of bridge both sides. So part of this project, we have the removal and replacement of deck slab, the 2 lanes, inner lanes. Then we also have the application of carbon fiber at G1 or the girder 1 near abutment B. We also have the installation of expansion joint finger type at abutment A and B. Also removal and replacement of approach slabs A and B. And also the RC bank protection under inner lanes, 0.3 meter thick with lean concrete 0.10 meter thick, and RC footing of 0.4 by 1.5, distance covered of 8.5 per abutment. So for the bank protection details, we have here the RC bank protection 0.3 meter thick with lean concrete 0.10 meter thick with grip holes, RC footing of 1.5 by 0.4. And for the RSD details, we have 16 mm diameter for the horizontal bars, spaced at 0.4 meter. Then we have the vertical bars, 12 mm diameter, spaced at 0.4 also. And for the RC footing, we have 10 pieces, 16 mm diameter horizontal bars, and for the vertical bars, we have 12 mm diameter. Note 50 mm concrete covered. Also, please be reminded that the dimension of the bank protection is just based on the existing structure on site. We also have the transverse expansion joint finger type with quantity of 14.8 linear meters. We also have the application of carbon fiber at G1, length of 2 meters. So 1 layer carbon fiber sheet G1, 1.2 mm thick. So for the program of work, we have here the facilities for the engineers, provision of field office for the engineer, rental basis, bank house, 4 months. Other general requirements, the bridge survey and staking 1 lump sum, for project billboard 4 each, occupational safety and health program 1 lump sum, traffic management is layout 6 of DEO 13 series of 2018 1 lump sum, for the mobilization and demobilization 1 lump sum. For the earthwork, we have clearing and grubbing 0.031 hectares, for the removal of actual structures obstruction 0.3 meter thick, PCCP reinforced or our existing approach slabs, we have 80 square meters. For the removal of structures and obstruction concrete, this is our damage bank protection and the deck slab, 36.43 cubic meters. For the embankment from borrow common soil, this is under the inner lanes for our bank protection, we have 21.27 cubic meters. For the sub-base and base cores, we have aggregate sub-base cores under approach slabs, 16 cubic meters. For our approach slabs, we have 80 square meters. For the bridge construction, for the reinforcing steel grade 40, this is for the deck slab and RC footing, 448.077 kilograms. And for the reinforcing steel grade 60, 13,899.54 kilograms. And for the structural concrete, 20.68 MPa for the RC footing, we have 15.3 cubic meters. For the structural concrete, 27.58 MPa. For the deck slab, we have 25.22 cubic meters. For the lean concrete, we have 10.2 cubic meters. Expansion joint, 50 mm gap steel finger type, 40.8 linear meters. For the carbon fiber sheet, 1 layer, this is just for the end of the girder 1 near abutment B, 5.3 square meters. For the drainage and slope protection structures, we have the concrete slope protection for the RC bank protection inner lanes only, 193.2 cubic meters. For the miscellaneous structures, for the pavement markings white, 5.2 square meters, and for the yellow, 7.8 square meters. This will just cover the coverage of this is just the bridge and just the approach slabs. Bridge and approach slabs only. For the quarry sources for Camp Bagang Bridge, we have the cement. This will be from DPWH ADS 2 with 7 kilometers away from the project site. Our RSB will be from Davao City with 211 kilometers hauling distance to the project site. And note for the sand and gravel, crushed, delivered. No further hauling cost shall be programmed. Identification of quarry sites for sand and gravel must be coordinated with the assigned ME and in accordance with the approved DPWH ADS 2 DEO materials quarry map. For the minimum equipment requirement for Camp Bagang Bridge, we have the bulldozer 1, dump truck 2 units. For the payloader, backhoe with breaker, boom truck, jump hammer, vibratory roller, water truck 1 unit, and for the transit mixer 2 units, concrete vibrator, concrete spreader, cargo service truck, 1 bagger mixer, welding machine, grout mixer, plate compactor, kneading machine, applicator machine, all 1 unit. That's all, sir, for Camp Bagang Bridge.
Another, thank you for the presentation. Any comments, suggestion from the back members? None? None. Set to 56 NC 0004 by Martin.
construction of bypass and diversion road of San Francisco, NRJ Hubang, Santa Ana, San Isidro Bypass Road, Daang Maharlika Alternate Road, Barangay San Isidro Section, Station 5 plus 615, or Station 6 plus 893, Agusan del Sur. In the project limit, Station 5 plus 673 to Station 6 plus 893 included is the road widening and slope protection construction, and for the Station 5 plus 615 to 6 plus 893 is the construction of draining. Target length of 1,278 meter or 2.556 lane km located at San Francisco. For the appropriations, is 8,691,593 based on HGov2, ABC of 66,287,387.24. Calendar days to complete this project is 228. Specification road widening and source of time net 2026. So this is the location of the project. This is Daang Maharlika. So this is the end of 2025 na project sa widening sa Daang Maharlika, ay sa Santa-Ana. Ang beginning niya is ano na siya? Ano nga section niya ang beginning? For the typical section, 3.35 carriageway widening shoulder. Ang base is 0.7 sa height and naka-embed siya of 0.6 sa existing na ground. And dimensions sa railings is 1.6 by 0.6 by 0.5 with spacing 200 mm. For the canal section, ang iyang reinforcement is 10 mm diameter for the vertical and horizontal, 0.6 by 0.7 dimension, and 150 mm thick concrete. Included sa construction is the removal of shoulder, existing shoulder, paved shoulder, removal of existing canal, and schedule of paved shoulder, and schedule of concrete pavement sa widening. So this is the plan and profile. Or the cross section. And for the program of works, for the CW1 road widening, facilities for the engineer, provision of field office for the engineer, rental basis 8 months, other general requirements, construction survey and scraping 1.223 km, project billboard signboard 4H, occupational safety and health 1 lump sum, traffic management 1 lump sum, mobilization, demobilization 1 lump sum. For the earthworks, clearing and grubbing 2.03 hectares, removal of actual structures or obstruction 0.15 meters thick, 3,392 square meters, removal of structures and obstruction concrete. This is for the existing canal and for the chip of existing slope protection. 341.53 cubic meters, removal of existing guardrails 1,300 linear meter, removal of existing
the back members, the presentation of the number
100 meters located at Rosario, Agusan del Sur, with an appropriation of 4,947,125 pesos and an ABC of 4,848,182.50 pesos, with a project duration of 51 calendar days, source of funds at FY 2026. This is the location map, and these are the geotag photos before stage. For typical and schedule, we will provide a 3.35 meter width or 6.7 meter width for the carriageway and a 280 millimeter thickness furnitures or fixtures, equipment, and appliances for the field office for the engineer, 1 lump sum. This includes multifunction inkjet printer A3 1 unit. For other general requirements, construction survey and staking, 0.100 kilometers, project billboard or signboard for each, occupational safety and health program, 1 lump sum, traffic management, 1 lump sum, mobilization or demobilization, 1 lump sum. For earthworks, clearing and grabbing, 0.15 hectares, individual removal of trees, 150 to 300 millimeter diameter, 17 each, foundation fill, 13.50 cubic meters, embankment from roadway or structure, excavation common soil, 66.08 cubic meters, embankment from barrow or common soil, 195.67 cubic meters. And for subway preparation common material, 1,093.10 square meters. For subbase and base course, aggregate subbase course, 271.67 cubic meters. For surface course, PCCP unreinforced 0.15 meter thick, 14 days, 200 square meters. For PCCP unreinforced 0.28 meter thick, 728.34 square meters. For drainage and slope protection structures, reinforcing steel grade 40, 4,596.47 kilograms. Structural concrete 20.68 megapascal class A, 28 days, 49.65 cubic meters. Lean concrete 6.75 cubic meters. And for grouted riprap class A, 39 cubic meters. For miscellaneous structures, metal guardrails including post with W-beam 60 linear meters, metal beam and piece fishtail for each, hazard markers, chevron signs, 9 each, reflectorized thermoplastic pigment markings white and yellow, 25.40 square meters and 3.37 square meters respectively. For the minimum equipment requirements, dump truck, transit mixer, concrete vibrator, 2 units, payloader, backhoe, motorized road grader, vibratory roller, water truck, bulldozer, cargo truck, concrete spreader, concrete saw, bar cutter, total station, concrete mixer, plate compactor, set applicator machine, leading machine, chainsaw, joint sealer, and bar bender, all 1 unit. For quarry sources, embankment, item 200 and boulders will be taken at Mao Cross Rider Agusan del Sur with a hauling distance of 37 kilometers, and reinforcing steel bars will be taken at Davao City with a hauling distance of 206 kilometers. That would be all. Thank you. And also, subject for bid pool.
So, wala na.
We thank you for the presentation. Any comments, suggestions? If none, proceed for the presentation.
Rehabilitation / major repair. Calendar days to complete 106. Bid documents fee of 10,000. For contract ID 26NC004 with contract name construction of bypass and diversion roads of San Francisco, close and open in RG Hubang, Santa Ana, San Isidro, bypass road, Daang Maharlika alternate route, Barangay San Isidro, with section station 5 plus 615 to station 6 plus 893 Agusan del Sur with an ABC of 66,287,387 pesos and 24 centavos. Brief description of works: road widening including slope protection and drainage structures. Calendar days to complete 228. Bid document fee of 50,000. For contract ID 25NC005, contract name construction / improvement of access roads leading to declared tourism destinations of NRG Pasta-Buenasuerte-Caimpogan Road, leading to Caimpogan Swamp for with an ABC of 5,095,440.42 and 42 centavos. Brief description of works: construction of concrete road including slope protection. Calendar days to complete 77. Bid documents fee of 10,000. For contract ID 26NC006, contract name construction / improvement of access roads leading to trades, industries, and economic zones of Buhisan, Manlawigan, Kalasian, Paligusan Road, connecting oil palm, rice, and corn farms, and National Road Junction in support of the oil palm, rice, and corn farms industries, station 0 plus 570 to station 0 plus 670, located at San Francisco, Agusan del Sur, with an ABC of 4,848,182 pesos and 50 centavos. Brief description of works: construction of concrete road, construction of concrete road including slope protection, grouted riprap ang slope protection. Contract duration of 51 calendar days. Bid documents fee of 5,000. Bids received in excess of the ABC shall be automatically to 2025 and upon payment of the applicable fee for the bidding documents pursuant to the latest guidance issued by the GPTB in the amount above stated. The procuring entity shall allow the bidder to present its proof of payment for the fees in person by facsimile or through electronic means. It may also be downloaded free of charge from the website of the PhilGIPS and the website of the procuring entity, provided that bidder shall pay the applicable fee for the bidding documents not later than the submission of their bids. The DPWH Agusan del Sur 2nd DEO will hold a private conference today, December 9, 2025, at exactly 10 a.m. at Procurement Conference Room, DPWH Agusan del Sur, Barangay Caraos, Francisco Agusan del Sur. And with the meeting live via Zoom, with the meeting ID flash on the screen together with the password, and also live stream on YouTube. Bids must be duly received by the Bids and Awards Committee or the BOC Secretariat through manual submission at the address indicated below or online or electronic submission at electronic bids Agusan del Sur 2 at dpwh.gov.ph on or before December 22, 2025 at or before 1 o'clock p.m. Late bids shall not be acceptable. All bids must be accompanied by a bid security in any of the acceptable forms and in the amount stated in the invitation to bid clause 16. Bid opening shall be on December 22, 2025, 1 o'clock p.m. at Procurement Conference Room, DPWH Agusan del Sur, Barangay Caraos, San Francisco, Agusan del Sur. For the bid data sheet, the procuring entity is DPWH Agusan del Sur 2nd DEO. The funding source, debt 2026, the source of the funding 2026. Bidding is restricted to eligible bidders as defined in invitation to bid clause 5.2. Contracts similar to the project shall be those described as follows. For contract ID 26NC 001 BRHCWOP Bridges, Rehabilitation, Concrete, Superstructure without piles. For contract ID 2 and 3 for contract ID 2 BRHSDP Bridges, Rehabilitation, Steel, Superstructure with driven piles. For contract ID 26NC 003 BRHCWOP Bridges, Rehabilitation, Concrete, Superstructure without piles. For contract ID 4, 5, and 6 RCP Roads, Construction, PCCP. This is based on the latest DO number 164 series of 2025, the updated guidelines for the determination of major and similar categories of work and eligibility requirements for work experience in the procurement of infrastructure contracts. The procuring entity will hold a previous conference again for this project on December 9 today at exactly 10. For the minimum work experience requirements for the key personnel are the following. For contract ID 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6,
the project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, foreman, and the construction safety and health officer, the general and relevant experience minimum of 2 years. For contract ID 4, the K personnel, the PM, PE, ME, foreman, and construction safety and health officer, the general medium A, lessons category B, largest single project, 33,143,693 pesos and 62 centavos, or 50% of the ABC. Allowable range of contract cost up to 150 million. For contract ID 5, size range small b, lessons category C and D, largest single project 2,547,720 pesos and 21 centavos, or 50% of the ABC. Allowable range of contract cost up to 30 million. For contract ID 6, size range small b, lessons category C and D, largest single project 2,424,091 pesos and 25 centavos, or 50% of the ABC. Allowable range of contract cost up to 30 million. List additional contract documents relevant to the project that may be required by existing laws and or the procuring entity, such as construction schedule and S-curve, manpower schedule, construction methods, equipment utilization schedule, construction safety and health program approved by the Department of Labor and Employment, or the DOLE, and PERT, CPM, or other acceptable tools of project scheduling. The performance security shall be in the form, first, the amount of not less than 30% of ABC if performance security is insurance given. That's all for the 6 contract ID.
Thank you for the presentation of 6 projects. 2 will be for modification. Modification or what? Only 5 and 6. We thank you for the presentation. We'll proceed for the